It was a cold and rainy night. Ollie got called out to an altercation out on the highway. They could not figure it out. Here's what had happened. There was a big tour bus with a basketball team on it. And they'd been kind of stuck in some traffic. And somebody from the basketball team bus got out of the bus and started a fight with somebody in the car behind them who was honking. They came in and they broke the passenger side window with a rock and then punched the person inside. Just pure road rage, just unacceptable. And then they went back inside and the person called the police and the police got there. But the rest of the basketball team was covering for the person that had done it. They didn't want to give it up. They didn't want to say who did it. No one was willing to admit to it. And nobody was cracking. Nobody was willing to, give up their teammate. So that's when they called Ollie. And Ollie got there. He looked at them all and said, "All right, listen. I know you've got your team loyalty, but somebody here has to pay for the assault and for the window. You know this is true." And the whole team just stared at him, didn't say a word. Now I thought about it. Then Ollie popped down onto the ground, walked along, looking underneath the seats. And the team got visibly anxious about that, him walking around in the bus. He'd be 2/3 of the way down the bus on the right. He got there, and he stood up tall and whistled to the officers. Said, "Here, far seat. You need to investigate this guy." The guy said, "I don't know what you're talking about. You need a warrant. You can't just..." The officer said, "We don't need a warrant. They saw the assailant come back on the bus. We got everything we need." He said, "Well, it wasn't me. So you need to just keep looking." I said, "Yeah, the thing is, though, it was you." So what makes you say that? I said, "Well, if you really want me to tell, here's the thing. You are the only one on the bus who's wet. There's water all over the floor underneath your seat. And now looking at you, your clothes are wet. Everybody else in the bus is dry." The guy started to look nervous. It's like, so what? So I'm wet. It's raining outside." I said, "Yeah, it is. But nobody else went out. All the people in the car behind you and in the car behind that said one person came out of the bus, broke the window, and punched the person. So there's one person on the bus who's wet. And it's got to be the person who committed the assault. That being wet doesn't prove anything. It could have gotten away in any number of ways." I said, "Yeah, perhaps you're right. But it's enough for us to demand that you get out of that seat so we can come have a look at you." I said, Fine. Can't arrest me for being wet." "True enough," Ollie said. And he got into the aisle, and the officers were there, and the officers pulled out their flashlight. Big, bright flashlight. I said, "What do you need that for? It's too bright. Put it away." I said, "No, we're going to take a good look. Stick out your hands, please." I said, "My hands, I guess. Sure, whatever." He stuck out his hands. And the officer shined the light on the hand and said, Yep. Sir, you're going to need to come with us." So what are you talking about? It's craziness. I didn't do anything. That may be, sir, but you're soaking wet and your knuckles are freshly bruised with cuts on them. I'm afraid that puts you squarely into our lead suspect. And they turned and addressed the rest of the bus. I said, now look, guys, I know nobody wants to see your teammate get arrested, but this is assault. It's serious. So, from this point forward, I expect your cooperation. We know it was him. We're going to have to take him and be arrested now. So they let him off the bus, and the guy was started to get, irate, yelling. Said, you don't have nothing on me. You don't got nothing on me. I could have hurt my knuckles anyway. I could have gotten wet anyway. So they took him off the bus, put him in the police car, drove him down to the station. Took photos. Later on, they showed the photos to the people that had been, had their car attacked. I said, oh yeah, that's the guy. And they eventually, they did a plea bargain. He spent like a month in jail for the assault and had some probation and some fines. The officer said, so how did you know to look for a wet floor? I said, well, here's the thing. You guys had already been here for like 45 minutes. If there was an obvious thing that you could see from up high at a normal human height, I'm sure you guys would have found it. So I started off as soon as I got on the bus looking for things that you wouldn't have seen from your perspective. And oftentimes, it's on the ground. Say, well, you solved the crime. The guy confessed. After we got him here to the station, he confessed and said he was really sorry and asked what he needed to do to make it go away. So, I'm going to get this all wrapped up. Get him off to sentencing. Not get him off to a trial, but still. Good job, Ollie. That was the case of Ollie and the sports team, Assailant.